Susie.
I'm so glad you're here. I've missed you.
Oh, I miss you.
You know, I did. People they get sad when they feel like we're not in the same room, like if we have to travel or something and that separates us. So you rest easy, everyone.
Quit going on trips. Why don't you? I'm not the one singing to Billy Joel in other states.
Gallivanting. I was gallivanting.
Gosh.
But I missed you too, so I just like to be near you, to smell you, see
gosh.
you. So gosh.
I have been wearing deodorant more frequently, so thank you for noticing. Of course, I may have forgotten to brush my teeth. No, I think I remembered. We're good.
Thank God.
Just don't get
I would have told you. I would have if I smelled that.
Oh my God. Thank you. This actually brings up a discussion Landon and I were having yesterday. First of all, episode 296.
Thank you.
There you go. Back at it again. If you had really bad breath, do you think you would know?
I do think I would know.
I don't know if you would.
I mean, that's what people say is like you can't smell your own bad breath, but...
That's like a secret fear of mine, that I have really bad breath, but I don't think I do.
You do not.
Okay, good.
Why do you fear that?
I don't know, because it's like one of those things where nobody would tell you, and I don't know. Have you ever met somebody who has really bad breath?
Listen, I have had a family member, I think I've told you about, who did not brush their teeth in the morning, and this went on for years.
Oh.
And finally I had to say something.
Oh, see, good. The world needs more people like you.
Yes, but it took so long, and it was so scary because that is really hard to tell someone.
Do you think it's harder to tell a family member than somebody who's like a stranger or a friend or something? No,
I would never tell a stranger or like an acquaintance.
My aunt and I set this rule. I don't even know when we did it, but we set a rule that we would always tell each other if there was something in our teeth or lipstick on our teeth or a bat in the cave, booger in the nose.
What's that mean?
A booger in the nose.
Oh,
like a visible
I never heard
bug.
of that bat in the cave.
Yeah, you got a bat. Because bats are hanging.
Oh yeah, I love it. I just never heard it.
It's a good one, and then people think it's cute and funny.
I think it's easier to do that though, Sarah, than like lipstick or stuff in your tooth or even a booger because it's not.
Because you can get it out. Yeah, and you're right. Okay.
The breath.
Because Landon and I were talking about how halitosis was invented by Listerine.
Right.
And how it's like not a real thing. But then we were saying, well, bad breath is a real thing. It's just a fancy name for bad breath. And we're like, well, what do people do?
Well, so when I told this person that this was a problem, she was like, what? I drink coffee.
Oh my God, like it's a neutralizer.
For sure.
Get out of here. I'm drinking coffee right now and it feels like the freaking opposite.
I mean, maybe if you were drinking mint juleps, but coffee?
Even that,
Well, sure.
And plus, that is a risky beverage for getting things in your teeth. So other problems.
True. But I just don't know why you wouldn't want to brush your teeth in the morning.
Oh, my gosh. My teeth feel like they're wearing sweaters.
Exactly. I don't get it.
I
but
hate it.
I'm glad I told her because then she started brushing.
You know what my little brother does? He's like real concerned with heart disease and like not having plaque on his heart. Mm-hmm. And that the plaque on your teeth is the same kind the stuff that builds up in your arteries. So he is like real, I can't think of any other word than anal about spitting out anything that he flosses and like not swallowing it. I never thought about that.
I wish every man was like that.
I'm like the opposite where I'm like flossing while I'm driving. And,
at least you floss.
Oh my gosh, I love flossing while driving. I don't know why. It like feels good.
I can't.
Better
That's a little
for some
weird.
Reason.
What do you use?
I know. The people at my clinic said the same thing.
Do you use those little pick things?
You sure do.
Oh, okay. Because it would be very hard to do with just traditional.
Oh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Open up a barber shop or like dental.
No wonder you're driving so slow.
Yeah, because I got to take time to floss.
I'll tell you what, I can't believe how many people don't floss, though. It makes me kind of real grossed out about humanity. You gotta floss.
Yeah, you do. My aunt was a dental hygienist and then worked at a dental office later after she retired. Because she never really retired. And she knows all about this. Went to like dental hygiene school or whatever. She has never had her teeth cleaned professionally because she hates the feeling. She says she has a water pick and she flosses religiously, and she's like really good at taking care of her teeth at home and does all those things. But she doesn't like the scraping.
Okay, I get that because I am sensitive as well. But like at least for an X-ray, you'd think you'd go in.
Maybe she's gone in for that.
Okay, yes. Just not the cleaning.
She's never had a cleaning.
Okay.
Like she's never had them professionally cleaned.
Does she have any cavities?
I don't know. She's got to at this point. She's like 70-something.
Right. She's like a freak of nature. Maybe that's why she doesn't, because she doesn't go in.
So I'm like super the opposite. I need to make sure my teeth are great all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, knock on wood, no cavities, except they told me there's one that might be starting. And I was like, lies, I'm going to take a second opinion. And I haven't been back.
So you have like a very early onset cavity and a hopeless tooth.
Oh, yeah, but you know what? I think the hopeless tooth, like another a dentist took an X-ray of it, and he's like, yeah, I mean, but it's still in there, and it hasn't changed, so whatevs.
It's hopeful.
Yeah, hopeful.
You're like glass half full over here, people.
Yeah. Tooth root half grown.
If you do, worry about smelling good, then I think you should try Scentbird. Because that's a way to make sure you smell good.
Oh, my goodness. I have one in the car, one at school, and one at home.
Scentbird sends you every month a travel size or sample size, but it's quite big. It lasts more than a month for me, of whatever scent you want to try so that you can kind of give things a whirl before you commit to them. And you can go in their site and pick the ones that you're like, I wonder if this would smell good on me, or I wonder what this scent is all about. And I actually looked up like what's similar to my go-to. My go-to is Chanel Mademoiselle. And then it recommended other ones. So I was like, let me try those, see if I love those just as much. And that way you don't have like half full or half empty, depending on whether you're an optimist or a pessimist, bottles of perfume everywhere that you're never going to use. It's such a great little service. I just love the idea.
Yeah.
And as you said, you can put them in your bag and...
I love it. And they're leak proof. Like the way that the little things like that are the stuff I love.
Yes, exactly. You can take it on the go. It has like good design, and it's great for travel.
Not going to break, like glass stuff. If you have one of those travel things you put in your bag, come on, yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, this is why I had to buy the purse liners before.
See, there were incidents, but that's been solved thanks to Scentbird. Mm-hmm. And with our exclusive offer, just for our listeners, you get 50% off your first month today. That's only $7.50 for your first fragrance. Go to scentbird.com/braincandy and use our code BRAINCANDY for 50% off your first month. Again, that's Scentbird, SCENT bird.com/braincandy for you to try your first perfume or cologne for just $7.50. Sign on and smell amazing. Hey, you know what? This episode comes out on Valentine's Day. That'd be a great Valentine gift.
Oh, yes. Hello.
You could get that for your man or your girlfriend or whoever.
Or like your best gal pal for like a Valentine's Day gift, or yourself if you're just going to date yourself, which is a really healthy thing to do every now and then.
What a fun gift, because you know how people get perfume for holidays like Valentine's Day and stuff, but you could get like one for every month.
Oh, you know what my husband used to do is buy those, like, that came out with like the gift sets, and then whatever somebody would get, they would like fall in love with the perfume, and then they would go buy the bigger one. But it's like a nice introductory thing.
Yes. By the way, happy Valentine's Day to you.
Oh, thanks, Suze.
My gosh.
You're always the one I celebrate on Valentine's Day.
Yes, I do. I know some people don't like Valentine's Day, and I've said it before. Mm-hmm. I really like anything that celebrates love, whether it's romantic or
we should just go out to
otherwise.
dinner after this just to celebrate us.
Yes. That, and you know what? That's a great idea.
And I've been thinking about Little Sister ever since we talked about that in the last episode.
Yes, let's go there. Let's go there. Yeah, so it's a special day of love. Let me see if I have any, I wish I had, thought of this in advance, that we should have, love stories, but I don't.
It's so funny. I honestly have the opposite of love stories.
What is it? Do you have
one,
murder?
Sort of.
Let's do it.
Like, mystery. Who knows? Okay, so in Essex, in the UK, there's a place called Primark. I don't know how to say it, but it's the name of a store. And somebody was shopping in there and bought a pair of socks, and they take their socks home. And you know what they find inside the sock?
What?
A human bone.
No.
Yes, Suze.
Like how big?
It didn't say how big. Does it say how big?
That's terrible. It must have been pretty small, but big enough for them to realize.
Yeah, no other skin particles on it. There was no explanation for it. They're looking at, the footage of the factory workers. They couldn't find, people who were packaging the socks. They couldn't find anything. No tampering evidence. So they think somebody who was shopping there came in and as, I don't know, a prank or a weird thing, planted a human bone inside a sock.
Okay. Why would someone do that?
I don't know, Susie.
And then, the owner of the sock called who? The police?
I think so, yes.
And was like, I'd like to report a bone in sock.
Yes.
Oh, my word.
But the weirdest thing that, so that was about this. I found this in CNN, this article on CNN. And about 25% of the article was dedicated to that story. And the rest of it was saying this is not the first time that Primark has been in the news or had weird things found in their store. A shopper found, stuffed in the pocket of a pair of pants. Oh, my God, it's so creepy when I look at it. A note written in Chinese that was sprawled oh, my God. It was basically an SOS note that was saying, please help us. It says, we work 15 hours every day and eat food that wouldn't even be fed to pigs and dogs. We're forced to work like oxen.
Sarah.
Yeah, and the handwritten note was in Chinese. So people don't know if it was a prank or if it was something real that happened, but...
I bet it wasn't a prank. I bet it was the factory
The
people.
place denies sourcing clothing made using forced labor, but...
Well, they don't often know, though, too.
Yeah. But this was from... No, see, this was from... This is from 2 weeks ago.
That is terrible.
It's not like this has been debunked yet, but...
Well, why would... I have no reason to believe it would be a prank. That sounds like somebody wrote that and wanted people to know that they're being mistreated. And like I said, oftentimes those companies don't even know what's going on in the factories, or they're, they kind of it goes through a line where it's almost willful ignorance.
Yeah, totally.
Oh my God.
If you work for a restaurant and the restaurant gets its meat from farm that uses these people to take care of the manure, whatever it is.
Exactly.
You never know, down the line. You're totally right. Ooh,
yeah,
horrible.
That really is. And that reminds me of the book club book we did last month of the dark... now I can't remember. Anyway, the North Korean memoir.
Yes.
But
oh, my God,
when he described some of the conditions in North Korea, the food that they have to eat just to stay alive and stuff, you think... It's kind of like we're all willfully ignorant because you feel helpless, so then it's better to not even think about it. But dang, when you read it, you're like, well, that is horrific.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, what would you do if you found that note?
Oh, my God. Call, who I would call? Amnesty International.
Yeah.
Or, the Human Rights...
Whoever oversees...
campaign or whoever.
Commerce, too.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that is definitely not about love.
See, I told you, it's the opposite.
Funnily enough, though, I do have a thing I read about a factory where they found... It was a potato chip factory, and somebody bought the bag of chips and... Or wait, no, I think they discovered it at the factory. But anyway, there was a bomb, from World War II in the bag.
What?
It was a...
How?
I guess this happens where The bombs are in the ground where you get potatoes, and people that pick the potatoes probably didn't even realize, they're going so fast.
Or sometimes it's a machine that just tills the ground. With potatoes, you don't have to hand pick them. They're hard enough to where you have one of those tillers, right?
They said that it was the same size as a potato, but like 5 times heavier than the average potato.
Damn.
But they found it, I think, at the factory and had to call in like the bomb squad to make sure, it wasn't going to go off.
Could you imagine?
No. And they say they find these things every so often, like even in places that have been used for years. Sometimes it'll just be unearthed somehow. And I guess that's just the thing with war is things come up generations later you wouldn't expect.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that's scary.
It's sure... Oh, my God. There's an island off of Puerto Rico called Vieques where half of the island, it's so beautiful. It's one of my favorites. There's not a single stoplight on the whole island, and it's just like horses, and it's amazing.
Oh, my God.
And it used to be used for military, practice of, exploding shit. I don't even know about that stuff, but they used it for, target practice or something for the military. And half of the island is shut down because there are still live mines and live, explosives, and they don't want people getting, limbs blown off. But the whole island is like that, where just right underneath.
You find stuff.
Yes. It's so crazy.
It really is. Can you imagine if you bought those taters? You were just, sitting down.
You know what
I'd
be the most upset about is that I would be paying 5 times more for the bag, and that is inaccurate weight.
It is sold by weight, not by volume.
Yes, exactly. I would be pissed about that. I'm totally the person who breaks off, when I buy a head of broccoli, or just broccoli, at the grocery store, I break off the stalk, and I throw that in the little grocer's, cart, because I ain't paying extra for that shit.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. That's funny.
That's 20 cents.
You know who probably wouldn't do that, though, is the good shoppers at Instacart who do your shopping for you.
They wouldn't.
They wouldn't. They're honest, good people. If you don't feel like going to get your groceries, and frankly, who does, then Instacart is so great because don't you have better things to do with your time than to go, fight with people over a shopping cart? I know I do. And Instacart is great because they have all of your favorite local retailers, they have Whole Foods, they have CVS, they have Ralph's or whatever your local grocer is. And you can be like, here's exactly what I want you to buy. The shopper goes and gets it, and then they'll bring it to your house in as little as an hour or a time that you choose that works for your schedule. They keep the hot items hot. They keep the cold items cold. I used it to get some things from CVS, and that was so convenient because I was during my workday. I needed something. Within an hour, they came and brought the stuff to me, and I just thought it was so convenient and amazing. And you should just try it. See what you think, and it might make your life easier. Try Instacart and get $10 off your first order. I love when you just get money. To get this limited time offer, go to Instacart.com or download the mobile app and enter our promo code BRAINCANDY at checkout. That's $10 off your first order today at Instacart.com or through the mobile app. And don't forget to enter our code BRAINCANDY, Instacart.com or through the mobile app with our code BRAINCANDY at checkout. I read a cool article in The Atlantic about potty parody.
Potty parody.
So
go on.
You know when you go out to a concert or something and the women's line is
for Christ's
20
sake.
minutes long?
Yeah.
So it was an article describing the challenges of how architects and companies are thinking about this issue, whether or not, some of them care, some of them don't. And just that the challenges that are created, because the way that it used to be, restrooms were just designed symmetrically. So what the codes of the building would say the minimum number of stalls or facilities. And then they would just put, for example, 3 in the men's room and 3 in the women's room. And they didn't account for the fact that, urinals take up less space. So if the bathrooms were the same size, then they could actually put in a row of urinals, but only one stall for the ladies. So when it sort of evolved to include urinals, then men got way more facilities than the women, even though women need more because we take more time because we menstruate and have to go and like basically
and we sit down every time.
Yeah. If you're wearing a
God
romper.
forbid we're wearing a romper.
And it really, it's funny what can make you mad. Like, I thought it was just going to be like a cute article about how women have to wait too long in lines for bathrooms. But it really kind of wound me up.
But here's, okay, so this is all about like square footage, right?
Kind of.
Because number of stalls, this is where it kind of loses me because I've been to different events where the crowd is, the majority women versus men, and depending on what the audience is, what the makeup of the crowd, wherever you are, is, that is what determines how long each line is going to be. Well, because I go to a football game and the line for the women's or whatever, is shorter than the men's. Or I went to, I'm trying to think of a better example because the women's line is not for that too. But like I went to I remember a Dropkick Murphys show, which is like a band, and they're like more like punk rock music. No line for the women's restroom.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's the exception that proves the rule. And when that happens, like, for example, that happened at a football stadium, and the men had to wait 15 minutes, and they started revolting.
Oh, for Christ's sake. You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
And the perfect example where it's all even, it doesn't matter, you get a pretty good range of, like, socioeconomic, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
The airport.
Yes. And
that
you see
is
the
all
difference.
You need to see. There you go. End of story. Case closed.
Right. So basically,
women's are longer. What the heck? Give us some room, people.
The architects are just doing, or the building owners really, are just doing the bare minimum, what the code is. And so basically what the article was saying is if you want parity, then we have to change the codes to make it 2-to-1 so that because women do menstruate and have to go into a stall because we have to get naked basically, then we have to account for that and make more facilities per capita.
You also forgot, and maybe they mentioned this, but the thing that popped into my head.
Yes.
Let's not forget who changes the babies.
Unfortunately, yes.
Because that is still primarily
Well, right, and it takes a long time.
There are dads who are doing this. There are gay couples, blah, blah, blah. I know that. But for the most part, come on.
Yes. And
then that needs a whole bunch of space, too.
Well, and the article really did, at the very end, it talked about other concerns that we should be thinking about. Like, if we create, in Europe, they have a system where, like, they create them by gender still, but then the sinks are kind of like unisex in the middle, and you come out and everyone washes their hands together, and it helps to keep things streamlined, and it also makes things safer. For example, like if you had a partner who was suffering with dementia or early stages of Alzheimer's, you send them in there and then you worry about them. And let's say you're a man and you have to go in the bathroom with your young daughter. Like, you kind of want it to be a little more open, things like that.
Yeah.
So there are problems with the bathrooms, as evidenced by how mad people are about the transgender stuff.
Yeah, this is one of those things where we've been doing it one way for so long and just become used to it that nobody's really thought, hey, maybe there's a different way to do this.
Yeah, a better way. Let's think about it,
And sometimes I think, well, not sometimes, all the time, this is why it's important to have diversity and inclusion of all different kinds of people, abilities in the workforce, people who are designing this, the architects, all those things. Like, I read an article, and I don't know where it is, and it would be hard to find it because I don't even know what it's called. But it was about how women design better parks and better public spaces because they have a different idea of how space is used and like what you need to see, being able to keep things in your eye, like, for a child who's running around and playing, like being able to see the child from different places in the park or whatever, or how the picnic tables are set up. But the way that because they're the ones who are using these spaces more, that they're better at designing them.
Yeah.
So I think the same would be for restrooms.
Well, that's exactly right. And the article said some of it is just like logistics, some of it is code, and some of it is just plain old sexism. You know, there's a lot of things at work that you're just sort of like, let's all think about this and let's have more women.
I can see men being like, they're getting bigger bathrooms. They get more, oh, now somehow the
shoes on the
scales,
other foot.
The scales have shifted, and now all of a sudden we're in control because we have bigger bathrooms. Like, come on.
I know. I know. And
don't give us something. Give us this, for goodness sakes.
And it said, like, building owners don't have a lot of incentive to lessen wait time, but it depends on the place, because let's say you're at the mall or anywhere where I might spend money, the more time or even the airport, the more time I'm in the bathroom, the less money I'm going to be spending at your...
Absolutely.
You know.
There's something about, I think it's for every minute that you have the average, for every minute you spend at an airport, it's $1.
Oh my
on average,
God.
that
I
the person
believe that.
spends. Yeah, it's like $1 a minute, and it really does make sense. Like if you have somebody who like is eating dinner, like you have 2 drinks or
100%.
whatever, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. I would have to find that stat somewhere, but.
Okay, so first of all, I have to tell you a story about someone who was mad at us. You're going to love this.
Oh, goodness.
But before I do, I want to talk about someone who's very happy with you, which is your dog.
Oh, Suze, I know what you're going to say.
Yes.
I have never, ever seen my dogs get happier about anything. It is so funny.
She's talking about Ollie Dog Food. And you guys know I'm always kind of like out of the loop with pet stuff. But Sarah's been telling me about this dog food that she gave to her pets, and they're losing their minds.
Losing them. I mean, they spin. It's so cute. So, okay, here's how it comes. So it's all natural, all regular,
it's like fresh
food
meals.
Ingredients.
It's like people food, but for dogs.
And they customize it to what your dog's needs are, your dog's weight requirements, its activity level, its all that good stuff. And they send you portioned and sized out like boxes for it's about for like 2 or 3 days, I think. And you start by mixing it into their regular food and get them used to it and everything. And it comes with like this cute little resealable lid and everything. Oh my God. When I get the food out, they spin in circles. It's so cute. I'm going to have to videotape it because you're not even going to believe me. They don't do this for anything else. And I was like, what's the big deal with this stuff?
Oh, well, it's all natural.
I don't think I can ever go back because they'll hate me.
Yeah, you're in too deep. It's all natural, no preservatives. And it ranked... beat out store-bought dog food 10-1 on the palatability scale. Mm-hmm. And it's so great because shipping is free. And, I mean, if your dog doesn't like it, they'll give you your money back. But I don't think you have to worry about that.
Oh, my God. That's impossible. If your dog doesn't like it, send it to my house.
And you just go on and you answer a few questions about your dog, and then they'll customize the recipes and send you them. And then Ollie is offering our listeners 60% off your first box plus a free bag of treats at myollie.com/try/brain candy. And I'll put that on the website too. It's the best deal they have available anywhere. Go to myollie.com/try/brain candy for 60% off plus a free bag of treats. It's myollie.com/try/brain candy. How fun.
Yep.
Your doggies are happy. Okay, who's not happy is, let's see what her name is.
Oh, no.
Hold on. Her name is Emma. And Emma sent us a tweet that said, Sarah, flight attendant here. Sorry your mom thinks my career is beneath you. Getting a flight attendant job is more competitive than being accepted into Harvard. Our training is 8 weeks long. This college grad, traveling for a living, turned off brain candy and unsubscribed.
This is why I'm mad. I said that's what I wanted to be.
Of course.
I'm on her side. Freaking get mad at my mom, Emma.
She won't hear
this. Dude, I'm going to write her back, and I'm going to be like, here's the deal.
I know.
I wanted to be that. I agree. That is a great job. And I understand all of that. Oh, my God.
I quote tweeted her from Brain Candy, and I said, Emma, that's amazing. Sarah was saying she disagreed with her mom's opinion on that. We think your job is incredible and impressive. #don't go. So, I mean, she didn't write that. But, I mean, I don't really understand why she would like, she clearly understood that it was your mom saying it.
Yeah, but I did not agree with that.
Of
and
course
I even
not.
said, I was like, that maybe that's what she thought, but I think I even tried to make it very clear that. And also, again, I stress that is such a wonderful job because you are helping people, and you are. It's like
it's a service.
Takes the same. Yes, it takes the same thing that I'm doing.
Yes,
and then more because I don't have to. Well,
you don't have to save their lives unless you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah,
I was
sorry,
really
Emma,
sad about that.
I'm on your side. I hope that we get a chance to clear up this miscommunication or mishearing.
Right. I mean, we get this a lot where people are mad at us all the time. And usually we just tell people to can it. But in this case, I just want Emma to know she made a big mistake.
Yeah. I need her to open that can, dump it all out.
I love flight attendants. Are you kidding me? They do. Oh my God,
they're
work.
My favorite. Yeah, and here's also what I do, Emma. This is how much I like them and care about them. Is I read an article about what the flight attendants are looking for in passengers. Mm-hmm. And so I make sure that I follow all those rules. And I always I put my phone away because I think it's rude to be on your phone while they're saying hello to you. And if they have to stand there and say hello to you and they're greeting you, wouldn't it be nice to also greet them too? And so I make sure I put my phone away. And then I make eye contact with them. And I give them this look to let them know if shit went down, I'm on your side. And you can trust me to blow up the inflatable anything. I have excellent lung capacity.
This has become about how Sarah sucks up to the crew.
Yeah, it's totally true.
That is a riot. But I agree
absolutely
with you.
Do that.
And you want them to know you see them. There's not
somebody
invisible.
Who said that. I must have read it in an article or heard somebody else say that they give that airline pilot that look or the stewardess that look and flight attendant.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, that is important to do. I will do that from here on out. They are... very important people. So I'm sorry, I'm fired up now.
It's weird though because I don't know about you. I mean, I'm pretty sure I do, but just from speaking for myself, I am very passionate about the dignity of all jobs.
Oh, same.
Like
we've even said this. If you're a janitor and you love to do it, who was it? There was some article that was written. Were you talking about this?
Yes.
About the man who does work as a custodial worker, and he said. Well, tell me what it said. Remind me.
No, I don't remember an article, but we were talking about this concept when we were talking about the guy from the Cosby Show. Oh,
there was So there was some. I read this somewhere, or we were talking about it wherever. But the custodial worker said that if he didn't do his job. Then, and I don't remember where it was. I think it was some big company or something. Then the people who worked there wouldn't be able to do theirs, or that it all is a chain.
Absolutely,
and that everybody is an important link in that chain, and no one person is any more important than. And I mean, for goodness sakes, this is like the foundation of my theoretical,
I feel
belief
bad
system.
that she felt attacked,
and I just want to make sure nobody else feels like that because every single job, whatever you do, you don't work, you stay at home, you know, it doesn't matter as long as you are fulfilled and you are doing good and you're helping others and you are a shining light in this world.
I mean,
then
right?
Let that light shine.
That's what I'm saying. What
Amen.
else? I mean, we try. I saw a hilarious article title that I had to see. It was a short article in the end, but the title is hilarious. Winery shut down due to public sex, pooping.
Oh my God!
How great is that?
Thank you for the comma. That's an important detail.
Right. Somebody had to write that title.
Okay.
Right.
So this was.
I believe. I think it was in Oregon. But I could be wrong. Am I saying it wrong again? People got mad at me when I said it.
What?
I think I said it right that time. Yeah. Anyway, People...
And also, P.S., stop worrying. Be you. Everybody's going to have their comments.
I know. You're right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I guess part of it is because, more and more people are enjoying wine and appreciating wineries in general. And so whenever you, maybe on the weekends, it gets real busy when people go for tastings and stuff. And basically just people were drinking too much and they weren't being cut off. And so they were just pooping all over the property and like getting in fights and having sex.
Oh my God.
I mean,
okay.
That's
well,
special.
You know what? It really is. Oh God. Whenever we go up to Napa or anywhere up in wine country, you go on a Saturday, there will always be somebody puking out of their car on the side of the road.
Oh my God. For real?
It is. Yes, for real. I mean, and most of the time it's they're in a car service, which is nice.
Yeah.
So they're not driving.
Yeah.
But it is amazing how people they don't realize how much they're drinking when they go to the wine tastings, and nobody's spitting it. And people do not realize how, and also when a lot of those wines, because they'll be tasting like right out of the bottle where there hasn't been that much evaporation of the, or they'll be aged wine or like nicer wines that have spent more time in the bottle, so they have higher alcohol percentages, things like that. They don't realize how drunk, like it took me 5 years of dating my husband to be like, nope. This is where I cut off. This is the max. I'm never drinking anymore. And there's so much peer pressure, and I still have to just leave.
Yeah.
Because even I, at 33, am still getting peer pressured into drinking more because people like, so I imagine that this is just all part of that. And then people go up there, I think like wine country is seen as, it's, like Vegas is for people who like party all the time, and Napa is for people who like don't, and they save up that one time. It's just on a special occasion they drink, and maybe they don't do it that often, and they are not used to it. And I have like some friends who have kids and don't get to go out much, and then when they do, they're like, woo, burning it down and end up puking.
Yeah, I'm very glad that I do not do that, because maybe it's because I went on the challenges and
maybe no, but you know what?
out.
I went on the challenges. And the other night, I went out with a bunch of girlfriends, and I had come from school, and I didn't do a good job of, like, eating lunch before. And the worst, and if you're a woman, you know about this, it was right before, the night before my period started. There's something weird that happens in my body with metabolizing alcohol. I had, like, 2, maybe 3 glasses of wine over 6 hours, and I puked all night long.
No.
At least 5 times.
Oh my God!
Landon had to come up with a bowl of macaroni and cheese, as I was like, and he emptied out. He put a puke bucket next to the bed for me. Is that nice or what? And I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. The next morning, I was like, the worst is that I'm not even drunk. Like I can totally talk fine. I'm totally coherent, and I'm so aware of how my body is like. I'm like, oh no, here it goes. I don't even get to enjoy like. The fun stuff that comes with, I don't know, is there any fun stuff? There isn't for me. So,
that's what I'm saying.
It's all bad news. And, oh, God, I'm just sitting there like, and I was just saying, like, I'm so embarrassed. And he's like, listen, you're not the only one who's done this. No, blah, 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 blah. Aww. But you know what I'm not doing? Having sex in public and shit in places. I've never been that drunk. I have never been drunk enough to shit anywhere that it's not supposed to go. Oh my God, I'm talking so much, but I have such a good story.
Hold that thought, because what I will say is that if you did get crazy and trash your house, there are people that will come and clean it for you through this awesome service called Handy. And we have learned on the show that the thing that brings people happiness is when their time is freed up and they use their money to give them more time back. And Handy is a great way to do that, because you can book a home cleaning on your schedule right from the app or the website. You can look up all the pros using Handy and compare their profiles and choose the one that's a good fit for you. They're all with reviews. You can compare and contrast whatever you need. And then you can use them to book future cleanings as well. And it's such a nice service because, like I said, what better thing to give yourself than time and a beautiful, clean house? And to get your first 3-hour cleaning for $39 when you sign up for a plan, visit handy.com/braincandy and use promo code braincandy during checkout. Recurring charges, terms, and conditions apply. Visit handy.com to learn more. I had a gal come over. I've never had anyone clean my house in my entire life. And I was like, oh, this is why
You've never had anyone clean your house?
Never. And it was a life-changing experience.
You are really missing out.
I know.
No, now you know.
I know how great it is.
It really is life-changing. It's like when you cook a meal, like when somebody else makes you a meal and it tastes better, your house looks cleaner because somebody else did it. And I'm like, what the hell magical stuff did they use that I don't know about? What technique? And I thought I was a good cleaner.
And she was like so happy and hilarious. And I mean, I was impressed. And she just wandered around and did her job like it was nothing. And lickety-split, I had a clean house. So that was really fun. And what a treat. And I got time back. Hello.
Yeah. I'm thinking that would have been great. And I could have used that because they have handyman services. And maybe I would have known and been able to read reviews and not hire somebody who was racist.
Remember that guy?
Mm-hmm.
You're right. See, that's a way to avoid that. Okay. Okay.
No, my story.
Oh, yes.
About pooping.
Let's hear it.
When I was on a challenge.
Yeah.
I was, oh my God, you were there with me.
No, it was sounding familiar. That's why I'm like, yeah.
Yep. So I was everybody, oh God, somehow I became like a babysitter of drunk people. And remember, they told me to do it with Tanya when Tanya was like passed out in the bathroom.
Yeah.
They sent me in to go get her. I don't know why. I was like new there. Maybe because I was like dumb and I'm a people pleaser. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever you say. And like fear of authority figures. Ugh. So we were out one night at dinner, like going out to some fancy dinner. It was a real nice place right on the water in Thailand. And I will not say what challenger it was, but a female challenger got really drunk and had to go to the bathroom. And they sent me, like, walk her to the restroom. She could not make it. So in the middle of the parking lot, she pulled down her pants.
Wait, this is coming back to me.
Big SHIT. Then was like, I need something to wipe it. And so what did I have? I don't know if I had a towel because I had my bag with me or she had a towel, but she pulled out a towel, like a beach towel, wipes her business, and then leaves it behind the car and goes back.
Tell me who it was and I'll beep it.
Oh
my God.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited for that beep. Because people are going to be like, I'm dying to know. Well, just, look at the cast and make your own guesses.
Why do you think that happened?
Because we were out at the beach like all day. This was one of those days where we like did the beach day and then went out to dinner.
Yeah.
And everybody else knows how to be not everybody else, but some of us know how to, handle our shit literally. She did not.
Oh my God.
God, I remember every single thing about this night. I remember where we were sitting. I remember the parking lot. I remember the bathrooms. Now, Thailand, they do a good job. They like have the bathrooms off-site, and they were like these big cement buildings with glass doors. Oh my God, I remember it like it was yesterday because clearly this was a traumatic event for me.
Did you ever talk to her about it later?
Oh, no. And that was not she has a reputation of going to the bathroom in weird places. She also peed off of the back of the rickshaw.
What?
That's what they're called? No, not rickshaws. What are they called in Thailand? Those little tuk-tuks?
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Why, though?
No,
Why did she?
You weren't on our team. Oh, now I'm narrowing it down. She was on my team. She held her butt over the side and just she couldn't hold it. So she went, I have seen this person pee in so many places.
Wait. Whenever she pooped, did she look at you while she was doing it?
No, I was standing so far away. I didn't even want anybody to know that I was associated with this person, Suze.
Well, I get that, but I just wondered if she stared you down while she did it.
No.
Like a toddler does when he's on the toilet.
Funny. That's so funny you say that because Landon was just talking to me about an article that he read on MSN about how, I don't know how they know this, but something about when you look at the dog, when the dog goes to the bathroom, they look at you for safety and security. Yes, reassurance. And then you look at them and then they feel awkward. So then it's like a weird stare down, and that's why that happens. And it always happens, and it's so awkward. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
That's the way it is with toddlers too when they're first learning, because they're a little scared and like don't quite know what's happening, and that they'll just look at you in the same way that a dog does for reassurance. And I wondered if you know who did it too.
No, I don't think so. Well, I mean, at least I made sure not to make eye contact. I was like, you're on your own.
Was it dark out?
Was it what?
Dark out.
Yes, it was evening.
Jeez.
Thank goodness.
That is sick.
Oh, God. And people were like, what did you do with the towel? And I was like, what did I do?
Right.
Oh, that's where I draw the line. You already had me, you know. I've done my part. I made sure she got to and from where she needed to go safely.
Yeah, you did more than enough, frankly.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, God, that's so funny. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
There was a story on BuzzFeed about a girl who, in her dorm, kept hearing noises in the closet. And she thought there was a ghost in her dorm. And it turned out there was like a guy like living in her closet. And when she found him, he was like wearing her clothes and stuff.
No.
Yes. And like,
oh my God.
She looked into her closet and was like, I think she said, "Who's there?" And he goes, "Me."
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. That's the creepiest part.
She was scared, but he wasn't violent or anything. He was just clearly mentally ill.
Okay, that is so.
What
creepy.
would you do?
That would feel so like
violating.
I don't know, invasive or violating.
Yes.
Violating is the word. It would make me feel like there was always, I couldn't let that feeling go.
Right.
I would always feel like somebody, oh my God, Suze.
I know.
There are a lot of stories about this, of people who live. Wasn't there a celebrity? There was a celebrity there was somebody living in a celebrity's attic. I want to say it was like Julia Roberts or Sandra Bullock or something. I think it was Julia Roberts. I don't know why that's...
Yeah, and didn't it go to trial and she had to
yes.
whatever against him, testify?
Yes.
Can you imagine? That is so horrifying, even if they're nonviolent.
Mm-hmm. That's, you know what? We're gonna like save this top, like remember this.
Yes.
And I'm gonna do a look for next time of weird stories of people living in people's houses without them knowing.
It's freaky.
It's so crazy you say that, Suze, because just yesterday, like for real, it was yesterday, 100% sure. I was looking up at the ceiling in our closet, and there is one of those, I don't know what you call it. It's like access to is it the roof or the attic? I guess the attic, but we don't have like a proper attic.
Sure,
it's just
crawl
there's
space
this, like,
or whatever.
Crawl space, I guess, or something. And I had that thought pop in my head of, oh, I need to like look at that and see if it's been moved, because like, I don't know why. Like, what if somebody lived there? I'm like, no, Sarah, that's a crazy thought. That doesn't happen.
It's not totally unusual.
It's not. And, you know, that's like the weird stuff. Like, there's zero chance that somebody is going to, well, like 0.00001 chance that my house will ever get broken into. Nobody's going to come. The amount of work it would take. You're going to go through a gated community where there's only one exit.
Right, it would take
and then you're going to go to the farthest corner in there where you have no escape route, and you're going to go to a house that has like it doesn't make any sense
unless they came through the woods or something.
And even so, like, why would you? Our house is like not. Yes, it's weird. So no chance of that. The only thing I would be is like those ones where it's like somebody like is stalking you, and they've got like a plan
specifically for you.
Yep.
Oh my God. Well, I have a plan specifically for you, which is that you should save on your auto insurance. And the way to do that, that's a good plan. And now you can do it with thezebra.com, which is basically kayak for auto insurance. Oh, and cool. What attracted me to this is that you can find out if you could save on your plan, but you're not going to get spammed and all those phone calls from you know how they do, where they release your phone number to insurance companies, and then you get phone calls for years. And I hate it too, but you should be able to compare car insurance quotes from the top providers easily and without worrying about people calling you nonstop. So I think it's a great idea. I did it myself. The survey was super easy. You just put in like what kind of car you have and stuff, and then they'll tell you whether you can save or not. And it turned out I could. And you can check it out for yourself. Go today and start saving at thezebra.com/braincandy. That's thezebra.com/braincandy. And it's spelled THEZEBRA.com/braincandy.
I feel like you could. I got more excited when you said it was a quiz, not a survey. And I was like, "Oh, a quiz? Okay, so just call it a quiz." And the answer is, let's see what your rate will be.
What the thing we were talking about before reminded me of that cuckoo bird story. I think it was in Wisconsin about that gal that was abducted and he killed her parents, and then they found her. Thank God. Oh my God! What a miracle! I'm so impressed with her. She's freaking 14.
She was abducted?
Yes.
And then
this guy...
Tell me the story, because like I have only heard a little, like I don't know any of the details.
Well, at first when I had heard that this happened, I thought that it was a situation where she had been in like a chat room and met this guy and then he came and got her. And I shouldn't have thought that, because the truth is she had never met him before. He had seen her get off the school bus one day and decided that was the girl for him.
See? There you go.
Yes, it's what you say. And then he did what you say, and he stalked her house a bit, tried to figure out the best way, and he was driving down her driveway and the dog started barking, so she went in her parents' room and was like, hey, somebody's here. And the mom and her went in the bathroom in the tub to hide. And then they heard a gunshot, and it was him killing her dad.
Oh!
And then he came through and made the mom put duct tape on the girl's mouth, and then he killed the mom.
Oh, my God.
And he took the girl, kept her in his apartment, and like when he'd have friends over, she had to go under the bed.
Oh, my God.
And then he would like put stuff around the bed so that if she tried to get out, he would notice.
Yeah.
And then eventually he told her he was going to be gone for a few hours, and thank God she ran outside, got help, and saved her own life. And she's her own hero. It's amazing. I would not have been able to do that at that age.
Oh, my God.
So impressed with her.
That is really...
Imagine what she went through. I mean, she was there for months and maybe even a year. I don't know how long
exactly.
my
God!
Long time.
You know what? What an amazing strength of human spirit there.
I know.
Because and I have to say that she had really good parents. I'm really sad that they're gone, because it just shows that this child had confidence in herself and her own abilities, in what she knew was true. Like, I don't see somebody who has history of abuse or like, you know, trauma in their own family as like those. I feel like if it were me, I would just, it would be like learned helplessness. And I want to say that I would be the one to fight it and want to know, but I don't think at that age I would have.
Yeah. 100%.
I know. I really don't. And so I feel like what a good lesson. Somehow she got in her mind that the right ideas, that she is, you know, the
well, and I know that I always ask you to do this,
hero.
like where I'm like, can you explain to me why someone would do this? And then I expect you to know. But for that guy that did it, he was a young man. He must have been, I don't know, 22.
Yeah.
And I just wonder what. And his dad spoke out and was like devastated and was crying in the courtroom, which was sort of annoying because, like, okay, these kids are, you know, this girl could have died and her parents did die, and stop crying. But what do you think is going through that guy's head, the kidnapper?
Oh, man. You know, it's one of those things where a thought that gets, you know, like, it becomes an obsession, and when you start like ruminating, or you start, like it becomes an obsession, and that can become dangerous. And something happened there where who knows, you know, like you'd have to really. It strikes me interesting that you said his dad was in the courtroom, which makes me think his mom either left them young, when he was young, or like ran away from the family, or somehow she was abusive, or maybe like there's something going on with the mom where he feels like he needs to either save this little girl or who knows, or she's some surrogate for something. There's something weird there.
Well, and not to hijack your train of thought, I was just thinking about...
That's it.
Like, whenever I ask you that question about him, you know, it reminds me of this whole conversation that people are having about the Ted Bundy tapes. And sort of why do we fixate on these serial killers and these criminals, and we don't talk about the victims enough. And I wanted to have that conversation and see what you thought. And really, Valentine's Day is the perfect day to have it.
Right.
But I want to know, like, what's your take on it? Because it's complicated.
Oh, gosh.
Like, do you think it is wrong to sort of this true crime thing and to focus on the criminal and not the victim? Because I obviously don't, as evidenced by my research. But
well, you know, it's a good question, because I you know, last night somebody in my clinic was like, "Ooh, have you watched the Ted Bundy tapes? It's so good." Da da da. I just finished it, and I said, "Yeah, it keeps coming up on my Netflix." And so last night I watched the trailer, and I had no interest in seeing it.
Okay.
Because, excuse me, so, and it reminded me of what I mentioned in a previous episode about how I used to want to be a criminologist, and that was like, that's the route I thought I was going to go down. Then I realized I wanted to help the victims, and that mattered more. And I'm more interested in hearing the stories of the families and of the victims, and I think that, but more on like a one-on-one, the exposure of that would be just not right. Like, exposing them even more in that way would be awful. But I feel like there's something that we can learn. I think it's really important to kind of look at these serial killers or these people who commit these just real, horrific crimes, and look at, you know, we're never going to know what made them do something, but we can maybe look at all of them and say, is there an age where, you know, there's so much involved with this. But we were just talking in supervision about at the clinic about how there is an age where if you haven't learned certain lessons about morality and like virtues, that it's not going to stick after that. Where if you've been told certain things until you're a certain age, like after that, there's no undoing those, you know, your moral compass has kind of been set. And so, like, looking at what are those ages, what were the situations like, what was, you know, I think that's how a lot of our attachment stuff and what we know about attachment and, like, the kind of care that parents were able to give. And so I think it's important to look at those things, and they show us, you know, I think the extremes help show us how to, I don't know, the steps along the way that we can take to avoid that kind of
I think these people that are annoyed about Ted Bundy, which I tweeted too, that I'm annoyed that people think white men are exceptional when they're totally average. Like, he's not even that attractive. Like, I
didn't think so either.
But I think people that have this issue mistake fascination with admiration. Like, no one's admiring him.
No, totally true.
And so to say that we're putting him on a pedestal or we're giving him attention he doesn't deserve, I don't agree. I mean, it's the same reason we look at Hitler and try to figure out what happened there.
Totally. Good point. Yeah. Yes, it's let's not make these same mistakes. Let's, you know, if you can see some early signs of something, then maybe there can be some intervention before, like, I don't know, you know, so.
Yeah, and to me, you know, I write to these guys and women, and to me, the question about nature and nurture and the human condition and morality and psychology, it matters.
It does matter.
And if we can try to learn more about the human existence and what that includes, I don't see the problem. And nobody is putting these people on pedestals as far as I know.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And the thing is, the victims are known because they're victims. So it's not as if they, as you said, it's not like they were wanting attention.
Right.
So we're not denying them something they were seeking, whatever. I don't know. I think the conversation is a bit disingenuous, but I do get the point.
Yeah, you know, and now as I was watching, like, just to share some of the thoughts I had as I was watching this trailer, the thought, like, popped into my head or just passed through my mind that, like, man, what if it is just a roll of the dice? Mm-hmm. What if it is, like, wiring and it doesn't matter, really?
That
nature,
is so
nurture,
fascinating.
Like, what if it is just this is... And when you really think about it, there aren't... For how many people have lived on this planet, and the ratio of normies to serial killers is, you know, 6 or 10 billion or million to 1 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, that seems like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like whatever it is, it seems like either the perfect storm of circumstances and biology.
Yes.
Or fate, destiny.
Yeah, like certain... I always just go down to, like, the brain and like, the layout of the brain and, like, what... And there's that expression that if it fires together, it wires together. So something that just the right combination of stuff that really is the wrong combination.
And if we can figure out what those things are, maybe we can try to prevent it.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying, man.
But if you do prevent it, you'll never know. So there's no credit being given to perhaps greater awareness. I think it's important for people to know that the boogeyman can look like your next door neighbor and the car salesman or the politician, that it's not the scary guy that you see walking down the road. I think that's good for people to know.
And, you know, the other thing that if you kind of, like, look at where's, like, the silver lining, or what good can we take out of the story, or, like, at least, I don't know, look, like, kind of reframe the situation. You said, well, he was a younger guy, and maybe because of how, I don't know, the conversations about these topics have shifted because of, like, you know, young women feeling like they have a stronger voice. Maybe she, like, that we caught him early.
Right.
And if this were 30 years ago, he would have done this to 4 girls or 5 girls because I don't know, there was just a different...
I totally agree.
I mean?
I was just saying this, I think, to you, but we were saying how I don't think serial killers are going to be as prevalent now because everything is filmed. It's so easy to get caught digitally. And maybe also what you're saying, more awareness and people saying, no, I'm not going to lay down. I'm going to try to escape or whatever. Yeah. So that is a very good point, I think.
And we're teaching kids different, lessons, you know, like that. I'm thinking of that documentary that you were talking about that I still haven't seen. Yeah. But how, like, the stranger danger thing was the lesson of back in the day. And now they're like, you know, safe touch, unsafe touch, and different messages, and how, like, the people who maybe you do know, and what do you do if it's somebody...
Relatives.
All this stuff. It's like the conversation is changing. So I think that maybe so is our ability to stop these kind of things. But then at the same time, I think, wow, with the internet and the just everybody is so accessible that if you did want to stalk somebody, or if you did want, like, it wouldn't be that hard to
Well, that's true. That's the flip side.
Yes. So, whatever. What
on that note, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And now
hold the one you love real tight tonight.
Sarah and I
check
are going to
that
have
crawl
our
space.
Valentine's date now.
Yeah,
and
so let's do it.
We're out of here.
All
See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.